It's important also to know that Jerry made history as the first African-American woman to receive 18% of the vote in a statewide election. That's over 200,000 votes. I mean, let that sink in for a minute. It tells you where we're at and where we can go as a state. And in the election that just passed, voters, 2/3 of the voters rejected the current Attorney General. Think about that. Over 2/3 of our voters in this state said no to someone who had served them for 2 terms. The days of Buddy Caldwell using the Attorney General's office as an ATM machine for a handful of his friends comes to an end on November the 21st. And I am committed to do my best to run that office for the people and not for the politically powerful few. And so with that, I am so eager to take the questions that everyone comes up here to hear. So thank you all so very much. I want y'all to know that we are looking over the course of the next 3 weeks to run a campaign that concentrates on doing something about crime, cronyism, ending the nepotism, and taking Louisiana from a good state to a great state. So thank you very much, and thank you again, Jerry.
Consistently made about the way he's run that office. And of course, he doesn't want to come here and debate the accusations that he made against me and my ability to run that office. I think, again, that what you've seen is that the voters, over 2/3 of the voters in the state of Louisiana rejected the way that he's run the office. And so he's running behind. I think that we offer the voters a fresh new start in the Attorney General's office.
Tell me about this nomination, or I'm sorry, this endorsement that you got today from a Democrat of all people.
Right. I mean, look, I was very humbled and excited today to make that announcement. I mean, you know, Jerry made history by being one of the first African-American ladies to receive over 200,000 votes on a statewide election ballot. I mean, I think that her and I share a common theme in that we're tired of the Attorney General's office being used as an ATM machine for a handful of his friends at the taxpayer's expense. We're also tired about the way that crime continues to be rampant here in Louisiana. We understand that cronyism and corruption aids in that problem, and we want to put an end to it.
When did you start approaching her about getting the endorsement?
I called and spoke to her on election night, and was very complimentary on the way that she's run the campaign, and told her that she should be real proud, which she does. She stands real proud in the way that she ran her campaign and the votes that she was able to attract. And so I just mentioned to her, I said, look, I think that we have a common theme. I think that there's a common thread between the reason that I'm running and the reason you're running, and I'd like to sit down with you and discuss that.
2 other questions. They're going to be about what y'all said about each other. First of all, what you said about Mr. Caldwell. You've talked about cronyism, you've talked about corruption. Specific, I can't have you go into super detail, but what do you mean exactly?
Well, again, I mean, I think that when you look at the amount of his campaign contributors, the fact that his campaign treasurer has received millions and millions and millions of dollars of no-bid contracts, that is a definition of cronyism, nepotism. His son works for him. Of course, his son was there right before he became an Attorney General, but then he doubled his son's salary under his watch. Okay, that lends itself to the nepotism part, to the corruption part. We look at the number of cases around the state of Louisiana that the Attorney General has had an opportunity to actually indict and convict political elected officials in issues where, like we pointed out, where he allowed a school board member to plead to a misdemeanor after stealing millions of dollars from the Medicaid system. When you talk to people around the state of Louisiana who have issues whereby they report to the Attorney General's office, whereby the district attorney sends the case to the Attorney General's office, it's a politically sensitive case, and the case basically ends up in some cold storage.
And he's gone after you. He brings up his prosecution history, and you don't have that same type of experience as a lawyer. What do you say to that?
Well, no, because on the same time, the Attorney General has gone on record as saying that he doesn't prosecute, that he actually investigates cases rather than prosecutes them. It's his words now against himself. I have not been a prosecutor, but what I have been is a law enforcement officer, and that's something that you need. It's a key tool to investigating cases. And the best prosecutor in the world can't convict a criminal if the law enforcement officer doesn't do his job. That's something that I know how to do.
And Mark brought up the big law firm lawyer, the corporate lawyer, I suppose, might be a better way of putting it. Will you still be an advocate for the people? Because that is a concern for some.
Well, actually, I haven't been a corporate lawyer. What I have been is a small business attorney, someone who's worked in a large law firm. So we should correct the record on that and the fact that I have worked for one of the top 10 largest law firms in the state, helping small business owners navigate a complex legal environment here in Louisiana. That's the experience that I want to bring to the Attorney General's office.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.